Good morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, James and Olga, for the kind invitation. I'm not here to talk about football, because we are the country of football, but to talk about sports betting, because I believe that we are going to be the country of sports betting as well. But in order to do that, and in order to give you guidelines about what's happening in Brazil in terms of regulation, we need to start by understanding if is gambling allowed in the country. No, it's not allowed. All the rules from 41. Only lottery is allowed at this moment. We also have sports lottery in the country, which is controlled by a federal bank. And have in mind that illegal betting is not a crime, it's a contravention. With a minor sanction, you don't go to jail. It could be converted into community services. But what's the most important thing for this talk is finally sports betting legalized? I don't have a clear answer. My answer is yes, but not. Yes, because there was a law in December legalizing sports betting, but not yet, because this law, in order to be fully enforceable, it depends on further administrative regulation. And that's where we are now. The government needs to issue a decree establishing the conditions for future operations. But in September this year, since the pressure of the market, the government, federal government, published a draft of a decree. Have in mind, to be clear, a draft of a decree. So I'm going to speak about this draft because I believe, of course, it will serve on the future guidelines. What you need to have in mind and what you need to understand when you go to Brazil. Firstly, the operators must have a company incorporated in Brazil with a local administration and local headquarters. Very important, no limitation on authorizations. So the government decided to have a free market, so everyone complying with the rules will be allowed to request a license. Taxing, also very, very important. They decided to have 1% on the revenue. And as another note, all the companies must have a financial reserve of 1.3 million euros. How much it will cost? Well, one single payment of about 650,000 euros for a license valid for 9 years. So at the end of these 9 years, it should license in Brazil. So that's very important for you to have in mind when coming to Brazil. That's the messages we are going to protect you. The numbers. I have read, I'm seeing a lot of numbers about the size of the market. In fact, I believe no one knows exactly what's going to be the size of the market because we are talking about 210 million people. It's a lot. But the government expects that at the beginning, the money being moved would be around from 900 million euros to 1.3 billion euros, despite of the fact that we have heard that it could be 2 or 3 billion. What's coming next and what's important for you to know? They need to change, unfortunately, the law from December because there were some mistakes on the law, especially on taxation. So at this stage, they are talking to the parliament in order to change and to amend this law. And also including some aspects of the criminalization of the conducts. On 5 November, there was a seminar in the Ministry of Economy, who is responsible to deal with this matter in Brazil, addressed specifically to sports betting. And within this seminar, the person responsible for that area told that they expect that the decree establishing the conditions for the future licensing operations will be made until January next year. And the first operations will start in June or July next year. Let's see. What's happening in the football market? As I told you before, this year we saw a big movement on sports betting companies reaching Brazilian clubs in order to sponsor them. And out of the 20 football clubs in the first division, already 12 are sponsored by sports betting companies, and they're also sponsoring the national competition and the two most important international competitions. So we clearly see that the market is looking very strongly to Brazil, and we hope the government will be successful in speedy procedures in order to start very soon the licensing procedures. I hope that I'm going to see you in Brazil very soon, because summer is coming. Now, it's also very nice to go to Brazil in the summer, go to the beach, relaxing, drinking a caipirinha, and planning the future operations in the country. So thank you very much, guys, for your kind attention.
When tradition meets innovation, bringing new forms of